All right, in this video, I want to cover how to solder float bowl overflow tubes. So I was rebuilding the carbs on the CB750, checked the fuel level. I got the float height video and clear tube method video that I just posted yesterday. Check that out. Everything looked good on the bench, right? I put the carbs on the bike and I let it sit with fuel in the bowls for a while, and all of a sudden 3 of them are dripping. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So took it all apart, and I noticed that there was hairline cracks that you can barely see in the tube that's in the float bowl, and it was just weeping out. So in this video, we're going to solder them up. Okay, so I discovered something. I was wondering why you just saw that drip there, why the overflow tubes just kept weeping. And clearly, when I did the clear tube flow trick, the fuel level was below the gasket surface, so that tells me it's below this opening. So I'm wondering what the hell is going on. Why do they keep leaking? And only 3 of the 4 are doing this. So I mocked this up in my vise here. I just filled it up with fuel below this guy and just let it sit, and it's freaking leaking. And if I look a little closer, there are some hairline cracks in this tube. And I'll zoom in on this, but there's 3 of them, and I can clearly see some hairline cracks. So obviously fuel's getting in there and seeping out, and I think the only way to fix this is to solder them up. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Okay, this is really hard to see on camera, but right there, that little black thing is a crack. I mean, it's just a hairline crack, and this is probably the worst one. So that's what we're dealing with. What I did is I hit it with Scotch-Brite or sandpaper just to rough it up and clean it. And we will be applying some flux and just soldering it up. Okay, so this is going to be kind of hard to film, but anyway, I have a rosin flux pen here. It's like a paint marker, but for flux. So this just kind of helps flow things. Just using, I have no idea what kind of solder this is, but make sure it sticks to your tip here. So I got a nice ball on here, and I will just rub that on there, and that wept right in. So probably got a little too much on there, but hey. And here's a bigger one. So I'm going to use less solder on this guy. And just kind of drag it, and it'll suck right in. Let me get a flashlight, make sure this is all good. Okay, this one has a nice long crack pretty much the whole freaking length. So we'll just run it the entire length. So just put it on your tip here, and we'll just run it Okay, I think there's another one on here. Just a little guy. Okay, so what I did is I put 2 of them in my vise here. I put a bit of just water. No need to put fuel in it just yet. But it stopped the leak. These are both bone dry. Here's the 3rd one. So let's go ahead and transfer Transfer that water in here. Okay, I'll let that sit for 10 minutes or so and we'll see if we get any leaks, but so far so good. Okay, check this out. I thought I had all the leaks taken care of, but I'm taking some air and I'm gonna shoot it up through the bottom and you'll see the air ball, air will just come out of here or any leaks. So watch this. So you can see, even though I soldered it, there's a leak there. So I'm battling with that one, but that's a little tip you can use to help find the leaks. Okay, this one was very problematic. I think when I was touching up an area with the solder iron, it would melt the solder in other areas and then the split or the hole or the leak path would open up again. So actually a low wattage soldering iron that can pinpoint the crack in various locations is probably the most ideal tool to use. Okay, but anyway, I have this thing tip top with water. Okay, it's all the way to the top. What I'm going to do is blow air from the bottom tube, and I can feel the air coming out of this hole, right? Now, if I put my finger over it, it'll just pressurize that pipe a little bit, and I don't see any air bubbles. So, finally, this one was a pain in the ass, but it's done. It won't leak. Okay, so what I did is clean these up. Obviously, I hit it with solvent to get all that resin flux out of there. And then I hit it with the vapor blaster again just to, clean it up. And you can see that solder's on there. Not very pretty in some spots, but hey, doesn't leak. Here's the other one. And here's the third one. I got a little bit of a glob on there. It's not the prettiest. The tip on my soldering gun isn't the best, but hey, they don't leak.